It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Arizona and the Dodgers meeting for the 15th time this year. The Dodgers have won 11 of the previous 15. And tonight, a battle of John Eli, the youngster with the Dodgers, and a young man making his Major League debut as a starter. His name is Zach Kroenke, going for Arizona. Among other things, the last time Arizona was here, they ran into some brilliant Dodger pitching and lost all three. And tonight marks the first time Kirk Gibson returns to Dodger Stadium as the manager. He'll manage against Brad Ausmus, and we'll get to the ball game after this. Dodger Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by the fastest growing car company in America, Hyundai. By Shakey's. What's the distance from home plate to the pitcher's mound? Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. By AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit att.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. And by Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network.
Dodgers back home for the final three games of the 2010 season. Arizona Diamondbacks and the LA Dodgers coming up in minutes here on Prime Ticket. First, though, let's get to our Coors Light cold hard blast. Go back to Wednesday, the 25th blast of the year for Matt Kemp. Grand slam as the Dodgers get a victory.
Well, that's a pitch that he handles so well. A ball that's down and away from him. Took a little bit of a step backwards with plate discipline this year, and therefore his batting average dropped about 40 points from this year to last year. But His home run number's still there, 25 home runs, as you mentioned. The guy can still power the ball out of the ballpark. Might need a little help in that area, though.
Yeah, well, Steve and Matt said that's just a taste of what the Dodgers are going to see next year. Also, you expect more from Ethier, hopefully, and James Loney. But you mentioned something else about out there. What about another power bat for the Dodgers?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Dodgers are able to do in the offseason because some of the big bats that are out there are commanding some huge money. Adam Dunn's a guy that the Dodgers almost had at the trading deadline. He might be the most affordable of everybody. You know there isn't a ballpark in the world that can hold him. That's the kind of power hitter you need to bring to Dodger Stadium because this is a big yard. Carl Crawford, you hear about, he's more of a speed and power guy. And also, when you look at Jason Wood, Dodgers have already had Jason Wood before.
All right, it's going to be a fun night for you. Brad Ausmus is serving as the manager for Joe Torre. He's mic'd up. We'll get to hear all those conversations with his bench coach, Jamie Carroll, his hitting coach, Russell Martin. It's coming up, and Vince Scully has the call.
On Prime Ticket is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now, get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. It is a gorgeous evening here at Dodger Stadium as we get into the final 3 games of the year, and the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. We have kind of a bonus for us tonight because as we watch this game, we'll give you as many reports as we possibly can on a very important game up at AT&T Park, the San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants. Meanwhile, the skipper, Brad Ausmus, draped on the railing, chewing on his gum. He'll be in command of the Dodgers tonight. Jamie Carroll, sitting just to his right, will be the skipper tomorrow night. And then Joe Torre, of course, will take over for his final game as the manager. The cards were brought up to home plate tonight. They were brought up by Russell Martin of the Dodgers and Kirk Gibson, making his first appearance at Dodger Stadium as a visiting manager. And from what we understand, Kevin Towers, the newly appointed general manager of Arizona, has been making the trip, and there might very well be a decision on whether Kirk will be the interim manager and then disappear or have a permanent job. But take a look at his lineup, and Gibby's lineup goes this way. Stephen Drew at short, Chris Young in center field, and Kelly Johnson at second base, Adam LaRoche at first. Mark Reynolds, who was out for a while with a bad hand, but he's back in there tonight. Brandon Allen, the rookie, in left field. Gerardo Parra will be in right. Conrad Schmidt behind the plate. And Zach Kroenke will be on the mound. For the Dodgers getting ready, young John Eli tuning up. The 24-year-old took the loss Saturday in Arizona, allowing 4 runs, 7 hits over 5 1/3 innings. The Dodgers lost that game 5-2. He is 1-1 in his career against Arizona with a good ERA of 2.9. So John Daniel Eli, he is in the Lions' den, so to speak, tonight. Out of Harvey, Illinois, lives in Homewood, Illinois, and went to the University of Miami of Ohio. So John ready to go to work, and it'll be Stephen Drew to start it off, followed by Chris Young, and then Kelly Johnson, the second baseman. So Eli looks down the barrel to get a sign. John ready, over the top fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Stephen Drew, solid ball player for the D-backs, hitting .278. He has 15 home runs, 60 runs batted in. He takes a strike, and the count 1-1. We mentioned what a beautiful evening in the ballpark. 78 degrees, light breeze blowing to right field. And the pitch inside, ball 2. 2-1 the count. So Drew, Young, and Johnson. The Dodgers have won 11 of 15. And the pitch to Drew, a strike. They have won 5 out of 6 from the D-backs here. They took 6 out of 9 over in Arizona. The D-backs have lost 3 in a row. They were swept in San Francisco. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, misses, ball 3. Dodgers come home with a 3-game winning streak, taking the 3 from Colorado. So Eli looks down the barrel to get a sign, and the 3-2 pitch to Drew is whacked into right field. That's going to short hop the box seats and bang up against the wall. By the time Ethier picks it up, Stephen Drew steams into second base with his 33rd double. And just like that, Eli's in trouble. Got a pitch right out over the plate, and Drew is not about to let that go by. So Stephen a double, and the batter now will be Chris Young. We can duck in the fact that the Phillies are leading the Braves 7-2. Jimmy Rollins, who just returned, hit a grand slam home run. Philadelphia had a 5-run 6th inning in Atlanta. So the wild card up in the air with Atlanta losing. The pitch now to Chris Young, foul back. Chris hitting .259, 27 home runs, 90 runs batted in, and in our most recent trip to Arizona, he was sparkling defensive play. He was everywhere. 0-1 to the right-hand hitter. Young bent at the knees and waist, and the strike 1 pitch inside at the hands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Up north, that big game, the Padres and the Giants, just about ready to get underway. Clayton Richard for the Padres. Matt Cain on his 26th birthday will take the mound for the Giants. We might duck in a little bit of information about that ball game up there without getting in the way of this one. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Eli delivers, and there's a high fly ball into deep left center. Matt Kemp on the dead run at the track. Reaches up, can't make the play. Drew keeps on going to score on a double off the wall by Chris Young. So John Eli roundly welcomed by Arizona. Drew doubles to right. Young doubles off the left center field wall. And the first 2 batters have produced a run. Kemp crashing into the pads, trying to make the catch, but couldn't do it. Kemp just stretched and hit the wall on the full run. The play was backed up nicely by Russ Mitchell to get the ball back into the infield. So Kemp hits the pads. Apparently he's okay. And now here's Kelly Johnson, and he takes high, ball 1. 1-0 Arizona. We're in the first inning, just starting. Johnson followed by LaRoche. So 3 of the first 4 hitters are left-handed batters. Young at second, nobody out. And Johnson, a shot up the middle. That's a base hit. Here comes Chris Young. He will score. And so for John Eli, he's having a lot of troubles. 2 doubles and a single. It is 2-0 Arizona. And before the chairs are warm at Dodger Stadium. Let's concentrate on the game up north for a minute. San Diego won the first 7 games this year against the Giants, but San Francisco has won 5 of the last 8. San Diego has won 7 of the last 8 played in San Francisco, but San Diego has now lost 4 of the last 5 thanks to the Chicago Cubs. Clayton Richard, the left-hander, will be on the mound for San Diego tonight. And in his last 6 starts, he's really struggled. He's 1-4. Eli delivers. LaRoche hits a hopper to second. The quick feed for 1. And Hughes gets it to first for the double play. So Adam LaRoche bangs into a 4-6-3 double play. Restores a little bit of order. With the D-backs leading 2-0 here in the first inning. And the batter will be Mark Reynolds. Mark Reynolds hitting under 200. He has 32 home runs, 84 runs batted in. And for Reynolds, it's a question, will he be able to do it? He has more strikeouts than a batting average, and that's really something. He has a look at a pitch low, ball 1. Reynolds has struck out 208 times, and he's batting 198. Of course, when you talk about strikeouts, you're talking about the D-backs. The next one is fouled away, 1-1. D-backs arrive here 1,495 strikeouts. So for Kirk Gibson, it has to be an extremely frustrating time as manager. He is 33-46. The next pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Reynolds did not play when we were in Arizona. He had a bad hand. The 2-1 pitch on the way is taken for a strike. Matt Cain, celebrating his 26th birthday today, goes to the mound for the Giants. In his last 7 starts, he's 4-0. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Check swing, strike 3 call. So Reynolds strikes out for number 209. At the end of half an inning, D-backs 2, Dodgers coming up. Being 2-0, among other things, with Brad Ausmus as the skipper. Here's his lineup, and it goes this way: Ryan Theriot at second base, Casey Blake at third, and Andre Ethier in right. Matt Kemp hits cleanup. James Loney at first, Russell Mitchell in left field, A.J. Ellis the catcher, Chin Lung Hu at short, and John Eli on the mound. On the mound, making his major league debut as a starter, is Zach Kroenke. He's out of Lincoln, Nebraska. He went to school at the University of Nebraska and was originally drafted by the Yankees. In fact, he was on the same club at the University of Nebraska as Joba Chamberlain of the Yankees. He is 6'3", 210, a left-hander, 26 years old, and his first pitch as a starter is a fastball in for a strike to Ryan Theriot. Kronke. Kroenke looks in to get a sign. Now the left-hander ready. And the strike one pitch on the way. A bunt attempt as Theriot ran up but missed it. And the count 0-2. A couple of more notes about that Giant Padre game. The Giants have homered in 7 straight. They've hit 59 home runs since August 11th. That would be the most by far in the National League. Now the strike two pitch on the way to Theriot, high and tight. Fastball that just ran in at him, and Ryan just didn't get his head out of the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zach Kroenke appeared in relief, but they're thinking of making a starter of him, and in the minors he was starting. The 1-2 fastball is foul back, and he just coming up from Reno. You probably understand, but in case you don't, the importance of that series up north. The Padres really have to sweep because the Giants lead by 3 as the game starts. 1-2 pitch on the way. Theriot takes low. However, there is one other thing, and that is Atlanta lost, or at least they're losing. San Diego may be 3 behind the Giants. They're 2 behind Atlanta for the wild card. So an awful lot at stake up there at AT&T Park. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Theriot, it's a line drive right at Stephen Drew, the shortstop. And just like that, we have one away. We mentioned a moment ago that tonight's manager is Brad Ausmus. And down in the dugout, I see Kenny Howell sitting on the bench with his back to the dugout wall. Kenny normally runs things in the bullpen, but as a former Dodger pitcher and a well-respected pitching coach, he is Brad Ausmus' pitching coach tonight. The pitch now to Casey Blake is off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Casey hitting .249, 17 home runs, 64 runs batted in. Kroenke out of a stretch. Left-hander ready and comes back, and it's hit foul off to the right out of play. If the Padres sweep and the Braves lose 2 out of 3, then they and the Giants would have the same record, 91-71. That would set up a pair of 1-game playoffs. San Diego would visit San Diego on Monday, and the loser playing in Atlanta on Tuesday for the wild card. The pitch to Casey Blake in for a strike, 1-2. If San Diego wins twice and Atlanta would be swept, then the Padres and Braves will be even, and they would play a 1-game playoff. 1-2 pitch is a fastball fouled off, and the count stays 1-2. One thing for sure, the Giant pitching has gotten them where they are and figures to make them a very formidable club if they indeed make it into the playoffs. In fact, for San Francisco, the Giants pitching staff's earned run average 1.7 for the month. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way, and Casey Blake takes up and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going back through what they call the live ball era, that would be 1920. The Giants are in it once. The Dodgers were in it twice. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hard ground ball to the right side off the glove of a diving Kelly Johnson on out into right field. So Casey Blake comes up with a base hit with 1 out here in the first inning, and Andre Ethier coming up. The great pitching staffs in September. The Dodgers staff of 1965 had an earned run average of 1.5, if you can imagine that. 1.5. So the Giants have been right up in very exceptional company, and we will keep an eye on it as that ball game is now underway. Meanwhile, 2-0 D-backs, first inning, and Andre Ethier at the plate. Kroenke delivers, high fastball swung on and missed, and the count 0-1. Andre Ethier has had a good year, an exciting year, a rather dramatic year. Andre has struggled against left-hand pitching, hitting just .211. Kroenke comes back, fastball swung on and missed. 0-2. Ethier batting .284, 23 home runs, 80 runs batted in. Matt Kemp leads in home runs with 85. James Loney leads in RBIs with 87. Strike 2 pitch on the way, very high. Ball 1. 1-2 to Andre Ethier. For Andre, of course, a year he'll never forget. A true all-star. An exceptionally fine hitter at night. His batting average at night is .322. The 1-2 pitch is hit in the air to deep left center field. Back goes Young at the track, makes the catch, and back to first base goes Blake. So a long fly ball out to deep left center, and with 2 away, the batter will be Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp having a highlight visit to Colorado, hit his 5th grand slam. Matt hitting .293 against left-hand pitching, .248 for the year, 25 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Casey Blake at first with 2 out. Kroenke delivers, gets the outside corner, and the count 0-1. For the D-backs, leading 2-0, and we told you the new general manager, Kevin Towers, is accompanying Kirk Gibson on the road trip. Bad time to do it. They've lost 12 of the last 14 road games. The next pitch is inside, and it's a foul ball, but Kemp acted as if he was hit by the pitch on the hand. So Kevin Towers sitting quietly. Dennis Gilbert on his left taking in the notes. And Dennis and Kevin, old pals. 2-0 in favor of the D-backs here in the first inning. Dodgers are 3 games under 500. No big deal, except they need to win all 3 to settle with a 500 mark. Hard ground ball. Diving stop by Reynolds makes the force play on Blake, and that's that. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and at the end of an inning, D-backs 2, Dodgers nothing. Note, they had Miguel Tejada at first base. Adrian Gonzalez has been bothered with a bad shoulder, nevertheless doubled into the right field corner, only to have Tejada thrown out at the plate. Brandon Allen hits a fly ball. Matt Kemp takes over and makes the catch. So 1 pitch and 1 away in the second inning. Adrian Gonzalez said that he had hurt his right shoulder back in May, aggravated it in June. And he said, if I swing hard, swing for a home run, it's going to flare up. So he has altered his swing a bit, going a lot to left field. But tonight, pulled one into the right field corner for a double, only to have Tejada thrown out on a fine giant relay. Now the batter is Gerardo Parra, and he takes one that, we'll take a look, just missed. 1 ball and no strikes. Parra backs off on a pitch that finds the zone, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. For Parra, he's visited Reno a couple of times. Pulls one on the ground. Back at first is Loney. He'll feed it to Eli coming over. By the way, when we were in Colorado, James Loney made a couple of absolutely magnificent plays. He took an extra base hit from Dexter Fowler, and then he made a play on a ball hit by Ian Stewart with the bases loaded that changed that game dramatically. So the Dodgers won 7-6, but it was Loney who was the difference between the Dodgers and Colorado. So we have 2 down now, and here's Conrad Schmidt. Right-hand hitting catcher, bangs one up the middle and collects a base hit. Schmidt hits the bag and holds on at first. He has had just 2 games and no at-bats. He had 1 plate appearance and walk. So we'll have to check and see. That might have been his first career hit. Yes, it is. So good for him. Conrad Schmidt, single up the middle. Zach Kroenke coming up now. Right-hand batter. John Eli set at the belt. Looks in to get a sign, delivers, and hits the zone for a strike. You know, we talked a little bit about the fact that Arizona sets a strikeout record, and Mark Reynolds already struck out in the first inning. Now you have the pitcher up there, no balls and 1 strike. Eli checks, comes back, and it's swung on and missed. You know, in nearly half of Arizona's games, 70 of the 159, the D-backs lineup has struck out at least 10 times in a game. 0-2 the count. Eli set at the belt. Strike 2 pitch coming up outside, ball 1, 1-2. Just checking back to our final game with the Rockies when Ted Lilly pitched so well. 8 strikeouts in that game. Meanwhile, Kroenke goes down. Strikeout number 2 for the D-backs. They lead Schmidt, but at the end of an inning and a half, it's still Arizona 2 and the Dodgers nothing. CarMax, now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today. Diamondbacks 2, Dodgers nothing on a splendid Friday night. And for the Dodgers, James Loney, followed by Russell Mitchell, and then A.J. Ellis. James Loney hitting .269. He has 10 home runs, 87 runs batted in, and he leads the club in the 87 RBIs plus the 155 hit category. James waiting at the plate. Kroenke out of his stretch. Loney hitting .226 against left-handers. Takes low and inside. Ball one. James homered Tuesday night in Colorado. That was his first home run since the end of August. So he went 24 games before he hit another one. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball, slow ground ball to the right side. Kelly Johnson plenty of time and throws him out. One away in the second inning. Say, join Tommy Lasorda and the Dodgers in my town tomorrow for a Dodger Town Italia celebration. Enjoy all-you-can-eat Italian cuisine. Take home a free Dodger Town Italia T-shirt with each ticket. So buy now at Dodgers.com/mytown or call 866-DODGERS. Russell Mitchell hitting .150. Right-hand hitting outfielder, third baseman. 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in, and Kroenke starts him with a strike, and the count 0-1. Mitchell 1 for 4 Wednesday in the final game in Denver. Now the strike one pitch on the way, low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitchell 2 for 4 Sunday against Arizona. That was the first multi-hit game of his career. So Mitch waiting, 1 away, second inning. D-backs leading 2-0. And waiting on deck, A.J. Ellis. Mitchell lays off a pitch low. D-backs lead 2-0. A leadoff double by Stephen Drew to right field. A double blistered off the wall in left center by Chris Young. And a single up the middle by Kelly Johnson before the chairs were warm. D-backs led 2-0. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Johnson. The throw on a bounce to first in time. Pretty play by Kelly Johnson. So Johnson going deep behind the bag makes a wonderful play to take a base hit away from Russ Mitchell. Just bounced it over there. Nice stretch by Adam LaRoche, and down goes Mitchell. So 2 away as Kelly comes up with a dandy, and the batter now A.J. Ellis. Kelly Johnson making that awkward throw to first base and got it over there, but it reminds us Kelly Johnson never a pitcher, but he had the Tommy John surgery. You don't think that other players could get it, but it can happen, and it happened to him. Here's the strike one pitch to A.J. Ellis off the plate. A.J.'s probably one of the biggest surprises of the year. In the last month or so, he's really opened up a lot of eyes. He's hitting .286. 16 runs batted in. Here comes Kroenke. Fastball hit down to Kelly Johnson. So Kelly gets them all. 1, 2, 3 inning, all with Kelly getting the assist. And at the end of 2, D-backs 2, Dodgers nothing. Arizona in the bottom of the first inning after the Padres had Tejada thrown out at home plate and Brad Ausmus thinks over what he's going to do in the third. We were looking at the Giants and they had something going. Buster Posey came up and he was robbed of a hit, a diving stop by Chase Headley, who threw down to second for the second out. With first and third and 2 out, Pat Burrell hit a long fly ball out to right field, and the Padres are out of the jam. Meanwhile, the first pitch of the leadoff man, Stephen Drew, is in for a strike. Another note, Phillies are pounding the Braves now, 11-2 in the 8th inning. The next pitch foul back, 0-2 the count to Stephen Drew. Drew hitting .279. He has 15 home runs, 60 runs batted in. John Eli back over the top. It swung on and missed. AJ has to pick it up out of the dirt and fire to first. So Drew strikes out, and we have one away in the third inning. So we will try to keep an eye on that Giant Padre game and tell you about anything that might be important. Seems like everything up there is important. For Matt Cain, he is making his regular start. That pushed Barry Zito back. So Zito will pitch tomorrow against Tim Stauffer. And the first pitch is high, ball one. Of course, if the Giants win tonight, the Padres would be eliminated from winning the division. But they're still very much alive in the wild card. 1-1 the count. They still have a shot since Atlanta is losing 11-2. 1-1 pitch on the way. Young backs off. It's at his shins inside. 2-1 the count. So John Eli trying to settle down. He gave up 2 doubles and a single to the first 3 batters. 2-1 pitch. That's popped in the air off to the right of the plate. Coming over is Ellis, but that's well back into the stands. And then Kangaroos back another 10 rows. 2-2 the count to Chris Young. Chris Young 1 for 4 yesterday against the Giants. Doubled in the first inning today. So he's hit safely in 20 of his last 28 games. He takes low in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 27 home runs, he also has 27 stolen bases. So he's the first player this year to reach 2020, and he gets ball 4. So with 1 out in the third inning, D-backs lead 2-0, and Kelly Johnson coming up. And a reminder, you know, Sunday the Dodgers invite you to the biggest fan appreciation day ever, compliments of Hyundai. That's with more than 15,000 giveaways. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Eli out of a stretch. Young a threat to run at first. And Kelly Johnson at the plate takes one at his right shoulder for ball 1. Kelly had 3 assists in the second inning, and he also had a base hit to drive in Young in the first inning. So he's been busy. Kelly hitting .285, had a huge year, 26 home runs, 71 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch is inside. Talking about home runs, Ryan Ludwig has just hit a home run to center field up there at AT&T Park for the Padres. Leading off in the second inning, San Diego leads 1-0. Clayton Richard going up against Matt Cain. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way to Kelly Johnson. There goes Chris Young, and it's foul back. So they turn Young loose. He has stolen 27 out of 34. The only ones who do the running would be Justin Upton, who's out of the lineup, Chris Young, and Kelly Johnson. 2-1 the count. Johnson. John Eli straightens up, set at the belt, back he comes, and Kelly fouls it away off to the left upstairs, and the count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kelly Johnson, formerly in the Braves organization, and I know it hurt Bobby Cox to lose him because Bobby just thought the world of him. But it's the old story. You can't keep them all. Kelly waiting, 2-2. Young takes his lead, draws a throw, and goes back on his hands and knees. His 26 home runs for Kelly Johnson. That's a career high. Now the 2-2 pitch. Young is going. The pitch off the plate. The throw down is not in time. The big question was whether Young could remain touching the bag, and he was just able to keep his hand on it. Meanwhile, Chin Lung Hu was hoping he'd come off. The pitch down and away, and the throw a little high. And then as Young overslid the bag, he just did beat the tag. So a busy Chris Young steals his 28th. He's no more busier than Chin Lung Hu. Meanwhile, the pitch to Kelly Johnson misses. So a 1-out walk followed by a stolen base followed by another walk. And Eli will now face the left-hand hitting home run hitting Adam LaRoche. LaRoche grounded into a double play in the first inning. When we were over in Arizona, he had one of those hitter nightmare games. He struck out all 4 times. But he has Sock, and he has Chris Young at second, Kelly Johnson at first. Adam with 24 home runs, 97 runs batted in, takes a hook inside, ball 1. LaRoche pays the price on a ball club that pays the strikeout price a lot. LaRoche has struck out 171 times. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Adam folds up, and it's in for a strike. Light breeze blowing from left to right, just enough to stir the flags in center field. Boy, it's a lovely night. If you can, hope you're with us tomorrow night, calendar night, and then Sunday afternoon, Fan Appreciation Day. Eli straightens up. A look at the runners. The 1-1 pitch, and LaRoche connects. A high drive to right. Looking up is Ethier. It's going to go off the top of the wall. 1 run will score on the long double, and it's 3-0 D-backs. As Young brought in the run, Johnson stopped at third. And for Adam LaRoche, he just missed hitting it out. So LaRoche, a long double to right, and Eli is not proving much of a problem. Ethier was looking up and then played the carom, but just like that, the run was in easily. So the D-backs are going right after John Eli. They have 3 doubles, a single, and 2 walks, and we're only in the 3rd inning. So Johnson down the line from third, LaRoche away from second, and here is Mark Reynolds. And Reynolds hits one in the air foul. Loney coming over near the dugout, can't make a play. It's back in. Mark Reynolds with 32 home runs, 84 runs batted in. He is a home run machine, and he is also a strikeout machine. 223 times last year, 209 times so far. And he's one of those hitters, and we've heard it so many times down through the years. If he could only make more contact. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Reynolds backs away. They put up the numbers a moment ago. The idea that should Mark cut down his strikeouts, as far as putting the ball in play, he's hitting .341. But when you distract and subtract 209 Ks, he's hitting only .198. 1-1 the count. Eli ready, comes back, and that's lifted to shallow right field. Ethier had a long way to come. Terrio can't get there. Scoring from third is Johnson, and with a pop fly single, it is now 4-0 in favor of Arizona. And for Mark Reynolds, base hit and run batted in. So the top of the lineup is really killing John Eli. And as the soon-to-be manager, Jamie Carroll, talking to tonight's manager, Brad Ausmus, now you get the idea, the helpless feeling when you're the skipper. Four runs, 6 hits for the D-backs. And here's Allen. Eli out of a stretch, delivers. Brandon whacks it to center. Kemp coming up, makes the catch, tagging up at third, and he will beat the throw is LaRoche. And just like that, it is 5-0 Arizona, and we're in the third inning. So for Brandon Allen, a scoring fly ball. LaRoche brings it in. So 5 runs for the D-backs, and the batter now, Gerardo Parra. No one throwing in the Dodger bullpen, and the batter Parra grounded out in the second inning. Left-hand hitting outfielder from Venezuela. Eli a throw over there, and back on the bag is Mark Reynolds. Reynolds has stolen 7 out of 10. Parra trying to move him along. Gerardo hitting .260, 3 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Eli at the belt and deals, and the pitch a little high. 1 ball, no strike. So when you get to Diamondbacks 5, Dodgers nothing in the third, time to check in on that San Diego Giant game. No score there in the second inning with 1 out and a man at first. The throw to first. In fact, it should be 1-0. They didn't put. Now they have it. Yeah, it's 1-0 on Ryan Ludwig's home run. All right. 5-0 D-backs, third inning. Gerardo Parra with Conrad Schmidt on deck. Eli deals, runner goes, pitch missed at the plate, and the throw is down there waiting to get Mark Reynolds. However, the D-backs come up with 3 on a bunch of hits and lead the Dodgers 5-0. Nothing, bottom of the third inning. Jim Hu followed by John Eli and then Ryan Theriot against left-hander Zach Kroenke. Gave up a single to Casey Blake in the first inning, but that's all. Did get a fine play by Kelly Johnson to take a base hit away from Russ Mitchell. So Kroenke out of the University of Nebraska working on Chin Lung Hu. Hu batting .200. He has an RBI. Acquitted himself very well on the road with the glove. It has always been the question, however, can he hit enough to play in the big leagues? Right-hand batter. Kroenke looks in, picks up a sign, and here we go. Fastball in at the knees. 0-1 the count. Plate umpire Greg Gibson with Jerry Davis, Alfonso Marquez, and Jim Reynolds in that order. The strike one pitch is taken in the dirt. Greg Gibson, the plate umpire in his 12th year. He's from Ohio, lives in Kentucky. He went to the University of Kentucky. Father of 3 sons. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kroenke comes back way outside and high. Ball 2, 2-1. One thing about Greg Gibson, I'm sure if you were interviewing him, asking about a memorable game over the last stretch of 12 years. 2-1 pitch to who? Hit in the air to left field. Late start by Brandon Allen, but he still goes back and makes the catch. 1 away. I would think Greg Gibson would talk about May the 18th, 2004, because Gibson was behind the plate while Randy Johnson was pitching his perfect game in Atlanta. And believe me, those great moments by the players, the umpires really get their own thrills. Professional pride. Now the batter is John Eli. Takes ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1-0 in favor of San Diego. 3rd inning. The pitch at the plate, Eli misses, and we have a 2-ball, no strike count. Eli followed by Ryan Theriot. So Zach Kroenke, left-hander, delivers, and he's high, though he's fallen behind. 3-0 now to John Eli. Kroenke signed by the Yankees 5 years ago. Never made it to the big leagues until this year. 3-0 pitch in for a strike. He had been used a couple of times in relief. Fastball, slider, has a very good splitter, which he calls a splitty, and a changeup. The 3-1 pitch is a little low, and Eli draws the walk. So a 1-out walk, and Theriot coming up. Just a reminder, be sure to visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. You can get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Dodgers.com shop. Apparel, memorabilia, and more. Ryan Theriot hit a bullet, but right at Stephen Drew in the 1st inning. The Ryan 0 for 1 holds up on a pitch in at the knees for a strike, and the count 0-1. At Reno, where Kroenke made 9 starts and a lot of relieving, he was 7-3. He's way outside again. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Zach Kroenke, Kroenke, out of Lincoln, Nebraska. One and 1. Big left-hander back, drops that in nicely for a strike, and the count 1-2. Game number 160. 2 left, but the Dodgers have to win 3 to wind up 500. Fastball hit in the air to right field, backing up his power, turns to make the catch. Back to first goes Eli. So 2 out here in the 3rd inning. The D-backs leading the Dodgers 5-0. And up north, Padres are hitting. 3rd inning, and it is 1-0 on the home run by Ryan Ludwig. Matt Cain against Clayton Richards, and Matt Cain celebrating his 26th birthday. Casey Blake single to right field in the 1st inning. Case hitting .251, 1,200 games in the major leagues. Casey takes a look at a pitch a little low. 1 ball and no strikes. Remember Blake early in the year when he shaved off the beard, clean shaven, the 1-0 pitch, and that's low, ball 2. Shaved it off, looked a good 5 to 10 years younger, but he wasn't hitting. The old Samson idea, I guess. So he let the beard grow and immediately began to pick up his hitting again. 2-0 the count to Casey Blake. Now the 2-0 pitch very high. So Kroenke has walked 1 and he is 3-0 to Blake. 2-0 D-back, 5-0, 2 in the first, 3 in the third. And Casey might be green lighted 3-0 just to get 2 in a hurry. The 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike. 3-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the D-backs. No runs, just Casey Blake single for the Dodgers. Now the 3-1 pitch. Kroenke delivers a hopper, a diving stop by Stephen Drew, turning it into a force play. Oh, welcome to the big leagues. I mean, Casey Blake hits what looks like a sure base hit. Stephen Drew turns it, and we're going to the 4th inning. 5-0.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Gibby outmanaged me that inning. But the inning's not over. Curse. I need you for something else, errand boy. Go in Honey's locker and see if he's got the pitch count clicker and give it to Borgie. Thanks. I said, hey, errand boy. Go get me a soda. I'm not allowed to argue.
Huh?
That was the caveat, huh?
Well, you're down in the locker room, and right at the end of it, Brad Osmus visiting with the players, talking about kidding them. When he mentioned, I'm not allowed to argue, that's a caveat. Apparently, in taking over, he is not allowed to go out on the field and argue a play with the umpires. And there was definitely an arguable play on the Chris Young stolen base. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gerardo Parra. 5 runs, 6 hits for the D-backs. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Although you didn't see him really on camera, you heard Brett Ausmus say, hey, errand boy, go back to Honeycutt's locker and get the pitch count. And the errand boy, yeah, there's the errand boy, Clayton Kershaw. And a very good-natured guy who doesn't mind the ribbon. 1 away. The batter will be Conrad Schmidt, the young catcher who picked up his first major league hit in the 2nd inning. Conrad Schmidt from Santa Rosa went to the University of Nevada, Reno. A graduate of Petaluma High School, went to the University of Arizona and then transferred. Ball 2. Schmidt an even 6, 225, 26 years old. Had 11 home runs this year at Mobile. Somewhat of an unusual stance. Pops it up. Casey Blake. So quickly, 2 down here in the 4th inning. It's time to get you thinking. Sure, we'll dust off the trivia question. Brad Osmus is a graduate of Dartmouth. Who are the only 3 Ivy Leaguers to make the Baseball Hall of Fame as players? Brad sitting quietly. Of course, a lot of people feel that Osmus retires Sunday as a player, but he will pick up somewhere along the line as a manager. They've been talking about Osmus being a potential manager for years. Of course, you can also tell he went to school, right? How many managers have you heard say, well, that's the caveat? Okay. Meanwhile, whoa, the Padres. Little roller to short. Who in a hurry? And gets him. We told you Ludwig hit a home run in the 2nd inning. Adrian Gonzalez, who doubled in the 1st inning, hit a 3-run home run. It's 4-0 Padres, bottom of the 3rd. I-76 gasoline. We're on the driver's side. And by Jack Daniels. Bottom of the 4th inning, 5-0 D-backs. And Zach Kroenke has nothing to be cranky about. The D-backs went right after John Eli. Stephen Drew doubled, Young doubled him in, Johnson singled him home. And then in the 3rd inning, there were 2 walks, LaRoche doubled, Reynolds singled, 3 more went up on the board, and it is 5-0 Arizona. Meanwhile, as we told you, the Padres have jumped out to a surprising 4-0 lead in the 3rd inning up at AT&T Park. The Phillies are pounding the Braves 11-5. Charlie Manuel had all of his regulars except Shane Victorino in the lineup tonight. So Ethier, who has always done well against Arizona, will start off the 4th. Foul ball, 0-1. Tomorrow night, Chad Billingsley will be on the mound for the Dodgers. Chad will go up against Joe Saunders. And then Ted Lilly will pitch the final game of the year against Rodrigo Lopez. Hello. 1-1. For a minute there, I thought Ethier might get upset. Great control. Wow. So he's pitching him tight. The old story, don't let him extend his arms. 2-1 the count. Kroenke has walked 1. He walked, of all people, the pitcher, John Eli. 5-0 D-backs. 4th inning. And that's in there. 2-2. Last time the Dodgers had a losing season was back in 2005. Kelly Johnson on the grass throws him out. So Kelly now has had 4 assists, covering a lot of ground, and the batter will be Matt Kemp. Of course, this club is very close to the 500 mark, whether it makes it or not. The 2005 club was a bad team. They were 20 games under 500. There was no talk about settling 500. Kemp hit into a force play in the first inning. Ball 1. I guess looking at wins and losses, the worst team the Dodgers ever had here, they lost 99 games. 1 ball, no strikes. On the corner. 1-1 to Matt. He lost a base hit, a diving stop by Mark Reynolds, who, while on his knees, got the ball over to Kelly Johnson for a force on Blake in the first inning. 1-2. Matt hitting .248, 25 home runs, 83 runs batted in. And a high fly ball down the left field line. It is going to go fair. Home run. Matt Kemp, a towering fly ball home run just inside the foul pole. Gives him 26 home runs, 84 runs batted in. And on a ball like that, there's no sense following the ball. All we did is watch the third base umpire, Jim Reynolds. He had a perfect view and safely into the stand for the home run. So Matt has homered in 3 straight. 26 home runs equals up from what he had last year. Loney grounded out in the second inning. That's a strike. So the D-backs 5, Dodgers 1. And that'll be that. So Loney 0-2 takes a fastball and walks back to the bench. That for Kroenke would be his first strikeout. And the batter now will be Russ Mitchell. Russ Mitchell robbed of a hit by Kelly Johnson. Going way to his right, backhanding the ball and throwing him out. And a fly ball to center. Chris Young is there. And that'll be that. So the Dodgers are done, and at the end of 4, D-backs 5, Dodgers 1. home run, 26 for his career, and the D-backs leading the Dodgers 5-1. The Phillies have defeated the Braves 11-5, and San Diego leading the Giants 4-0. Change stays up. Ball one to Stephen Drew. Drew made the defensive play in the third inning on the ball hit by Casey Blake. With the bat, he is 1 for 2, double and struck out. So figure out, Philadelphia beats the Braves. Should San Diego hold on to their lead against the Giants, they would cut the Giant lead in the division to 2 games, and it would cut Atlanta's lead in the wild card over San Diego to 1. So the old story, it's not over till it's over. San Diego, of course, trying to win 3 in a row at AT&T Park. And we'll repeat a couple of things that we mentioned earlier. Ball 3. San Diego won the first 7 games against the Giants. Well, the Giants have won 5 of the last 8. San Diego has won 7 of the last 8 at San Francisco, and they're leading 4-0. And that'll be ball 4 to Stephen Drew. Coming up, Chris Young. Young with a lot of power. He's a wonderful ball player. Hyundai key to the game. He unloads. Kemp crashing into the wall. Couldn't make the catch. Scoring was Stephen Drew. Well, here's Chris. He also walked, stole a base, scored a run in the third inning. 5-1 D-backs, 5th inning. Strike. For the D-backs, 5 runs and 6 hits. They have 3 doubles, a couple of singles. Dodgers have the home run by Matt Kemp. 0-1. And that's popped up right side. Ryan Theriot. So 1 away as Young tries to go the other way. Well, it's time to answer the trivia question. Who are the only 3 Ivy Leaguers to make the Baseball Hall of Fame as players? And they are Lou Gehrig, Eddie Collins, and Jim O'Rourke. Gehrig and Collins went to Columbia. O'Rourke went to Yale Law School. Gehrig also played football at Columbia. Kelly Johnson singled and walked, scored a run. Hard foul ball. Kelly has put up big numbers, hitting .285, 26 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Change, and he was way out in front of that slow curve. 0-1. The Giants had something going in the third inning, but Clayton Richards got Buster Posey on a fly ball to right field to end it. So it is still 4-0, and they're in the top of the 4th inning. Padres. So John Eli, after a very rocky first and an equally difficult third, trying to settle down here in the 5th. He has 1 out. He has walked Drew, and an 0-2 count to Kelly Johnson. Drew has stolen 8, but he's not been that successful. 8 out of 13. Matt Williams coaching at first. Joel Youngblood over at third. 0-2 to Kelly. Ramon Troncoso begins to loosen up now. Foul back. Kelly Johnson is an interesting study when you look at his numbers. He has walked 78 times, but like everybody else on this club, strikes out a ton, 144. Foul ball. Kelly out of Austin, Texas. He was the #1 pick by the Braves 10 years ago. 6'1", 205 pounds. Drew at first. One out. There he goes. And the pitch in the dirt gets away from A.J. and down to second base. It'll be a stolen base because he was going on the pitch. So Stephen Drew picks up the steal. For A.J. Ellis, kind of an awkward way to use his glove on a pitch in the dirt. He tried to backhand the ball instead of perhaps just trying to push it out in front of the plate. But Kelly Johnson waiting now on a 2-2 pitch. Little chopper. Here comes Casey. Gloves it. Throws. Gets him. And with the ball hit ahead of him, Stephen Drew had to stay at second base. And the batter will be Adam LaRoche. San Diego leading 4-0 in the top of the fourth inning. And Matt Stairs has just homered against Matt Cain. A solo shot to right field. So San Diego has a home run by Ryan Ludwig with nobody on. 3-run home run by Adrian Gonzalez and a solo job by Matt Stairs, and they're breezing 5-0 behind Clayton Richard. 0-1 to Adam LaRoche. Tomorrow, if indeed the Padres win tonight, and it's another must game, Tim Stauffer will be on the mound for San Diego, and Barry Zito will be on the mound for the Giants. 0-1. 0-2. Eli, big overhand curveball. Eli has struck out 3. Five to 1 D-backs. Fifth inning. Stephen Drew at second with 2 out. LaRoche grounded into a double play and doubled to drive in a run. And this time he gets another curveball, and he was looking for it, and Ethier climbs the wall, but it's gone. So one curveball on the heels of another, and LaRoche hit that second out. And just like that, now the D-backs lead 7-1. Brad Osmus on the steps in front of the Dodger dugout. We'll have a double switch. Reed Johnson is going to come in as the Dodgers bring in Troncoso. So Adam LaRoche having himself a big night. Doubled in a run. Homers with a man aboard. So LaRoche has 100 RBIs on that home run. And we'll be back. LaRoche, the veteran, born in Orange County. He's going to be 31 in November, and although he's had big years, he has never had 100 RBIs. But with his 25th home run, along with a base hit earlier in the game, he has picked up 3 RBIs tonight to give him 100. So heartiest congratulations to Adam LaRoche. His dad, Dave, of course, pitched in the big leagues. Meanwhile, the only word is crushed to describe John Eli. Dodgers were hoping, that he would have a pretty good game, and then he can spend all winter chewing on it. But this is one he's going to have to try to forget. Dodgers make the double switch if you happen to be keeping score in this game. I mean, that's a stretch, but if you are, Reed Johnson is batting 9th. Troncoso bats in Mitchell's spot. One and one. Mark Reynolds has struck out and singled. So with 2 out and Drew at second base, they went after LaRoche and he hit the home run. Now you have Reynolds, who has struck out and singled. 1-1. Ball 2. Pretty good combination. LaRoche with 25 home runs and Reynolds with 32. LaRoche has struck out 171 times and Reynolds 209. 2-2. Boy, to watch him swing and miss, you can realize where he generates his power. You talk about bat speed. That swing was so quick. Two and two. And quick again. So he strikes out a second time. He has now struck out 210. But remember last year, 223. And it is 7-1 D-backs. Bottom of the fifth inning. Zach Kroenke now has to get 3 outs and possibly pick up his first major league victory in a starting role. Adam LaRoche, with a double and a 2-run home run tonight, has 3 RBIs to give him 100. The amazing Albert Pujols leads the league in RBIs. Last we checked, 118, and right back of him, Carlos Gonzalez with 117. A.J. Ellis, 18 for 36 over the last 2 weeks. That's a strike. 2-1. Foul ball off to the right, out of play. A.J. Ellis grounded out in the second inning. A.J. 0 for 1. Certainly a bright spot for next year. And fouled away yet again. It was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He couldn't quite catch up to it. Zach Kroenke. For Kirk Gibson, of course, a victory tonight would break the mood. We told you that the D-backs stopped winning completely on the road of late. They lost 12 of the last 14. And, of course, Kirk has been traveling with the new general manager, Kevin Towers. And ball 4. So Ellis draws the walk. Chin Lung Hu will be coming up.
For the Dodgers, shortstop number 60, Chin Lung Hu.
Chin Lung Hu flied to left field in the third inning, 0 for 1. The boy from Taiwan. He and Hung Choo Kuo, they have plenty to talk about. Fastball, a hopper to Drew, gets it to Johnson, turns it to LaRoche. And just like that, 2 down. So with 2 out in the 5th inning, Reed Johnson is coming up. So Johnson finishing up in left field. Reed is hitting .300 this year against left-hand pitching. In his career, he's a .312 hitter against left-handers. Fastball missed, ball 1. Jay Gibbons, who gives you a lot of sock, left-hand hitter, is going to have his back examined, a product of the fact he was playing on a sore right calf. And I assume what happened was that Jay, as he sits there holding his cap, favoring the calf, and hurt his back. But he's a fellow with a lot of power and could very well be a left-hand hitter coming off the bench next year. 1-1. Ball 2. 7 runs, 7 hits for the D-backs. D-backs had only won 1 game here, 1 out of 6. Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits, a home run by Matt Kemp. And that's going to go right at Kelly Johnson. He must have a magnet in the glove. Seems like all the balls are hit to Kelly. And at the end of 5, 7-1 D-backs. Don Sutton pitched a great game, beat the Houston Astros, and the Dodgers won the division series. They then moved on and defeated Pittsburgh and went on to the World Series against Oakland. Too bad they didn't make it with the Oakland A's, but it was a great year, 1974. Let's go back to this one. Ramon Troncoso ready to go to work. Brandon Allen. 1 ball and no strikes. Padres are holding on to that 5-0 lead in the 5th inning. And David Eckstein just got a base hit. 7 runs, 7 hits for Arizona. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Troncoso in relief of John Eli, who lasted 4 2/3 and gave up 7 runs, 7 hits. For Eli, he was haunted by the extra base hit, 3 doubles and a home run. Brandon Allen hitting .263. Fouled off. Allen, just by his very size, you know he has a lot of power. And they're hoping that that will certainly develop. He's out of Conroe, Texas, lives in Montgomery, and went to Montgomery High School. He had committed to the University of Houston. He was quite a football player. Ground ball to the hole by the diving Terrio. Brandon Allen is 6'2", 235, and he was an excellent linebacker, and he played the outfield in college, and he was able to punish a baseball, so he signed with the White Sox. Didn't really go anywhere with Chicago, and he made it to the D-backs briefly last year. So Allen aboard, and here is Parra. Ball 1. 7 runs, 8 hits for Arizona. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Parra 0 for 2. And he lifts it to Kemp. So 1 away with Allen holding and Conrad Schmidt coming up. You know, tomorrow the Dodgers take on the D-backs, and the first 50,000 fans receive a Dodger team photo calendar featuring the 2011 regular season schedule. That'll be presented by the Hart Gallery. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. So here's Conrad Schmidt, single fouled out, 1 for 2. Wide open stance, and then he steps in. Ryan Church comes out on deck to pinch hit for Cranky. And Esmerling Vasquez throwing in the pen. That's fouled away. Meanwhile, Padres leading 5-0, top of the inning. And Dan Kunzler has now come in to relieve. So Matt Cain in trouble. 1st and 3rd, nobody out in the 5th. Boshi has taken Cain out to bring in Kunzler. And remember, this was Matt Cain's 26th birthday. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Big chopper wide to 3rd. Blake down to Terrio. Over to 1st, not in time. Terrio almost came off the bag, and he had to look twice at the umpire, but they gave it to him. So the Force play 5-4. Schmidt safely aboard, and Ryan Church will come up. So Cranky, who's been in relief, but he did go the required 5. So Zach can pick up a victory, and here's Church. So a runner at 1st with 2 out. Zach Kroenke getting handshakes for going to 5. And ball one. Big moment in a young man's life. He'd been a reliever, then started the start for Reno, so they brought him up. And his first big league start, he allows 1 run in 5 innings. Fouled away. Ryan Church has been around a bit. He's out of Santa Barbara, went to the University of Nevada, and lives in Florida. Originally signed with the Indians, but made it with the Expos. Spent a few years with the Nationals, then the Mets, the Braves, Pirates, and now Diamondbacks. 1-1. High fly ball into left center. Johnson going back at the track, makes the catch. So Church a long out to left. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And for Zach, he's going to walk off hoping he's picked up his first Major League victory. Well, we put the freeze cam on second baseman Kelly Johnson. Backhanded, full extension of the gloved arm. And then for a fella who had the Tommy John surgery, throwing off the one leg and got it there on a bounce. So Kelly doing a fine job with the glove. And with the bat, he has a walk, single. He has knocked in 1 and scored 1. Meanwhile, Dan Runzler came in relief of Matt Cain up north, and the first thing he did was come in a wild pitch. That allowed David Eckstein to score. So San Diego has chased Matt Cain on his birthday, and they lead the Giants 6-0. As Merling Vasquez now trying to get some outs. And for the Dodgers, down 7-1. It'll be Ryan Theriot to start it off. As Merling is from the Dominican Republic, signed by the D-backs 7 years ago. Ball 1. Vasquez 6'1", about 170. He'll be 27 in November. Basically, fastball, kind of a slurvy curveball, and a very good changeup. Last year, he started to throw from a little bit of a higher arm angle than he had in the past. 1-0. Ball 2. 7 runs, 8 hits for the D-backs, 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Matt Kemp hit his 26th home run back in the 4th inning. And ball 3. Last year, left-handers hit just 196 against Vasquez. That's in there. Right-handers, however, roughed him up. Hit a .304 batting average. They think he could possibly be a starting pitcher. Way outside with a slider that ran away. So the walk to Theriot will bring up Casey Blake. Here's the in-game box score. And there you can see a lot of offers. Blake has a single and Kemp has a solo home run, and that's it. So Zach Kroenke did very well in his 5 innings in pursuit of his first major league victory in a starting role. Casey Blake could be 2 for 2, but he is 1 for 2. Single to right field in the first inning. Drilled a shot and a diving stop by Mark Reynolds, and Mark, while on his knees, got the ball to Johnson for a force play. Those at bats were against the left-hander. So Vasquez comes in, misses on 4 to Theriot, and now falls behind 2-0 to Blake. So Adam LaRoche, the veteran, comes over, does a little Dutch uncle. One of the high points in Vasquez's life was also one of the saddest points in his life. He's a kid who, naturally growing up in the Dominican, baseball crazy, and he dreamt of being a major league player. And one of the dreams his mother had in listening him to talk about how much he wanted to be a big leaguer, when he signed with the Diamondbacks, they both thought a dream would come true, only to have his mom die about 5 weeks after he signed. So she never saw him play, but he was fulfilling 2 dreams, and here he is. Esmerling Vasquez, 3-1. And ball 4. So the Dodgers have a chance to get something going now. And in looking at Vasquez, just to see what kind of numbers he brought to the game, walking 45 plus 2, so 47 walks, 64 strikeouts, and immediately they back him up with Carlos Rosa, a right-hander. So obviously he's fighting control. And timeout now. Todd Stottlemyre Jr. So first and second on walks. Nobody out, 6th inning. D-backs 7. Dodgers 1. Up north at AT&T Park, San Diego leading the Giants 6-0. Remember, San Diego going into that game tonight has won 7 of the last 8. So they're on their way to making it 8 of the last 9. So here's Ethier, fly to center, grounded out against the left-hander. Ball 1. Dodgers trying to get back into the game at the expense of Vasquez. And that's going to go into right field for a base hit. Sounded like the back track. And the Dodgers are going to be conservative. And they have the bases loaded as Ethier singles to right. And with nobody out, Matt Kemp, who has 5 grand slams, most recently in Colorado coming up, and warming up for this spot in the 4th inning. He took Kroenke out with a towering fly ball just inside the left field foul pole to account for the Dodger run. Well, now he's up there in a jackpot spot. So the Dodgers get a break, a couple of walks and a base hit, and Kemp trying to get them back into the game. And that hit him, so the run scores. So Kemp hit by the pitch. He will also get a run batted in. Theriot carries the run in, and then everybody moves up 90 feet. So now you have Blake, Ethier, and Kemp out there. Now it's Stephen Drew talking to Vasquez after we had already have Adam LaRoche. And now here comes the skipper, so that's it. So Kirk Gibson making an appearance, not exactly the way he wanted, but he'll be taking the ball from Esmeralda Vasquez and going to Carlos Rosa, and we'll be back. Walk. Theriot and Blake gave up a single to Ethier to load the bases, and then hit Matt Kemp to force over a run. So the D-back lead is 7-2, and now they give the ball to Carlos Rosa. Right-hander, 26 years old. Another Dominican from San Francisco de Macorís. 6'1", 195, and he sees standing room only. Casey Blake at third. Andre Ethier at second, Matt Kemp at first. So the Dodgers circle the wagons around Rosa, and here is Loney, grounded out, struck out, 0 for 2. Dodgers only have 3 hits, and they picked up 2 runs. 0-1 to James. So Rosa facing Loney, who has 1 grand slam. 4 years ago, he homered against Byung-Hyun Kim in Colorado. 0-1. And a strike. 0-2. Rosa is not a young pitcher in the sense he spent 9 years in the Kansas City system. Off the plate. 9 years in the system. He was in 2 games 2 years ago, 9 games last year. So 9 years, and the result, 11 games in the big leagues. 1-2. And a slicing fly ball, curling foul, and out of play. A trio of D-backs over to take a look, but that's all. A couple of years ago, when he was still in Kansas City organization, he was the Royals minor league pitcher of the year. And here's the clue that tells you all about him. In 2004, He had the Tommy John surgery. 1-2. Fouled away. I think the surgery is misnamed. The patient, Tommy John, it's easy to say, or TJ, but it's the surgeon, Frank Jobe. But it's a lot easier to say TJ. 1-2 the count to James Loney. Nobody out, bases loaded, D-backs lead 7-2. And that's going to go into center field. Ethier hesitated, and they'll stop him at third. Blake scores. It's D-backs 7, Dodgers 3. The bases are still loaded and nobody out. So Loney, a base hit, a run batted in. Casey brings the run home. Ethier stops at third. Kemp at second. The hit is charged to Rosa. The run is charged to Vasquez. Rod Barajas will now come up and bat for Troncoso. So Barajas waiting to be announced. You wonder the thoughts of the brand new general manager, Kevin Towers. You take over a club that is 27 games out of first place, that has lost 12 of the last 14 on the road, and you're watching Cronky, then Vasquez and Rosa as the Dodgers try to get in the game, and that's ball one to Barajas. So Carlos gives up the single. Ethier and Kemp both belong to Vasquez. And that's low. 2-0. Rod Barajas has 4 grand slams. He hit one last year. Rod with 17 home runs. As a Dodger in 23 games, he has 5 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Foul back. 1-2 to Rod. Boy, a lot of nervous energy expended, no matter how many years you play the game. He's huffing and puffing, and he just came off the bench. D-backs 7, Dodgers 3. Nobody out, bases loaded, 6th inning. 2-2. 2 walks, a single, a hit batter, and another single. So Andre Ethier is at third. Matt Kemp is at second. James Loney is at first. Barajas followed by A.J. Ellis. Two and two. Fastball whacked into the gap in left center. Young on the dead run makes a wonderful catch. Ethier tags up and scores. That's the Chris Young we saw in Arizona. Boy, can he go get him with the best of them. So Barajas loses an extra base hit only because of the defensive brilliance of Chris Young. Somehow he got there, backhanding it, almost crashed into big Brandon Allen. So on that long out, Barajas gets a scoring fly ball, except an extra base hit and a bunch of ribbies. So Ethier brought that run in, and that run belongs to Vasquez. It's now 7-4 D-backs. And here's A.J. Ellis with 2 on and a strike. So Matt Kemp at second base belongs to Vasquez, and Loney at first belongs to Rosa. 0-1 in the dirt. Freddie Sanchez has just gotten a base hit And driving in Cody Ross for the Giants. So San Diego, after 5, leading the Giants 6-1. They chase Matt Cain. Clayton Richards pitching the game for the Padres. 1-1 to Ellis. A.J. hitting .283. And a high fly ball to center. Young goes back. Kent tags. Chris for the catch. And then Matt moves over to third. So Ellis, a fly ball to center. Loney holding at first. Kemp at third. And the batter will be Chin-Lung Hu. Well, the runner at third will check Carlos Rosa. Always do, checking for wild pitches. Rosa does not have one. So D-backs 7, Dodgers 4, 6th inning. Dodgers have rallied for 3 to get back in the game. Who flied to left and grounded into a double play. Strike. 0-1. Remember, Reed Johnson bats 9th. Chin-Lung Hu batting 188. No balls, 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. That was in the dirt. Nice save by Conrad Schmidt. Seven runs, 8 hits for the D-backs, 4 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. One and 1. And popped up Adam LaRoche. But the Dodgers get 3, lead 2, and at the end of 6, 7-4 Arizona.
He's a Cy Young Award winner. He's a right-handed pitcher still in Kansas City. This is Zach Kroenke. See if we can get some Bigelow. Oh yeah, we got to plug that. I forgot. Bigelow green tea is what I drank. Hey Gibby, how you doing?
I knew this day would come. I just didn't know it would be this soon.
Sure, we can't order a pizza and have it delivered to the dugout. I'm starving.
Where's Kershaw?
Right there, errand boy. So, a couple men on base. This inning, the pitcher spot comes up 6th. Get a homer. Get us back in it.
Well, he almost did. Barajas hit that ball awfully well, and with a great running catch by center fielder Chris Young. So George Sherrill picks up the pitching, 7th inning, 7-4 D-backs. Drew, Young, Johnson, and LaRoche, 3 of the 4 left-handers. 0-2. So Eli gave up 7. Troncoso worked an inning into 3rd, allowing just a hit. And now George. And that's lifted foul off 3rd and out of play. Stephen Drew led off the game with a double to right. Since then, struck out, walked, stole a base, scored on the home run by LaRoche. 0-2. Did he? Yes, he did. So down goes Drew on that big sweeper. 1 away.
Center fielder number 24, Chris Young.
Now the Diamondbacks averaging about 10 strikeouts a game. Eli had 3, Troncoso 1. Now Sherrill. So 5 D-backs have struck out, and those 5 gives Arizona 1,500 strikeouts. They're the winners. 1,500. Fly ball to right center, very playable. Kemp takes charge. So 2 out, and Kelly Johnson coming up. Johnson singled to center to drive in a run, walked and scored a run, and then last time up grounded out. So Kelly is 1 for 2. Oh, and 1. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Reed Johnson, Ryan Theriot, and Casey Blake. Foul back. 0-2. The Dodgers were stifled by Zach Kroenke. He allowed just the home run by Kemp. They have struggled against left-handers, 22 and 26 against left-hand pitching. Breaking ball chased and missed, the slider. So Sherrill makes it look easy, especially going after the left-hand hitters. And now the bottom of the 7th, crowd will be staying here for God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, God Bless America, accompanied by Nancy B. Once again, please welcome Sergeant Byron Ward.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
the Arizona bullpen. D-backs leading 7-4. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, Reed Johnson, Ryan Theriot, and Casey Blake due up. By the way, they're now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Padres lead the Giants 6-1. Padres left a man at third base despite a 12-pitch at-bat by one of our all-time favorite players, David Eckstein, who then grounded to first on the 12th pitch. So 6-1 Padres, bottom of the 6th inning. Sam Demmel out of Fort Worth, Texas, went to school at TCU, originally a third-round pick by the Oakland A's just 3 years ago. Came out of the same Spring, Texas high school, which produced Josh Beckett. And he broke Beckett's strikeout record in high school. 1 ball and no strikes to Reed Johnson. Reed 0 for 1, hit the ball hard and lined out to Kelly Johnson in the 5th inning. 7 runs, 8 hits for the D-backs, 4 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. That's in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sam Demmel signed the letter of intent to TCU, and a good student. He went to TCU. He passed up an offer from the Texas Rangers. At TCU, he set career saves marks and eventually signed with the A's. 2-1. The deal that brought Sam Demmel to Arizona, the same deal that sent outfielder Connor Jackson to Oakland. He has fastball, slider, change. Started throwing a cutter this year. Two and one. Sam is an even 6, 210. He'll be 25. End of the month. As you can see, when he finally gets on the rubber, he's in somewhat of a crouch. And his mechanics were pretty scary. So much violence and a maximum effort, herky-jerky delivery. He used to really snap his head out of line. They've got him to calm that down. 3-1. Look out. So Reed Johnson nailed by the pitch. So the Dodgers have had a couple of walks and a hit batter play a big part of the 6th inning. And now here in the 7th, they get a hit batter. So Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, talking down to the Arizona bullpen. Of course, the Arizona bullpen, let's face it, when you are 27 games back, you couldn't possibly be providing a lot of relief. Mike Hampton gets up. That's a strike to Theriot. There's Mike in the shadows. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Hung-Chi Kuo has been warming up. 0-1. Little ground ball. Over to get it for 1 is Reynolds. So the Force play 5-4. 1 out. And Casey Blake the batter. Big leaguers make it look so easy. I mean, there's Reynolds racing in and angling to his left. He has to not only throw the ball in the neighborhood of second base, he has to hit a moving target in Kelly Johnson. And they just do it so easily. Talking about so easily, Aaron Rowan just came off the bench and hit a pinch hit 2-run home run against Clayton Richard in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Giants are still up, and the Padre lead is 6-3, and Ryan Webb has just come in to relieve Clayton Richard. The thing's starting to get tight up there 6-3 Padres in a game they must win. 1-0 to Casey. He's 1 for 2. That gets away at the plate, but not far enough, and Johnson holds at first. Blake singled to right in the first inning. Lost a base hit. Hit a sharp ground ball to the hole, and Mark Reynolds made a fine play. And then last time up, walked, scored a run. Conrad Schmidt doing a good job behind the plate. He's handled Kroenke, Vasquez, Rosa, and now Demmel. Two and 0. And a strike. Aaron Heilman and Mike Hampton throwing in the pen. One of the things that helped Demmel was the Arizona Fall League. And that's going to go foul off first. Coming over to take a look at LaRoche, but it's well back in. Gives us a chance to remind you there'll be fireworks after tonight's game. Tomorrow night, calendar night, the 2011 schedule along with the team photo presented by Hart Gallery. That's tomorrow evening. And then Sunday afternoon, the final game of the year, Fan Appreciation Day, as Rafael Furcal explains to Chad Billingsley. And Billingsley will be on the mound tomorrow night. Ted Lilly on Sunday. So Demmel, pitching very carefully, has gone all the way after hitting Johnson. Sam is 2-1. He's in his 37th game. He has allowed more hits than innings pitched. 3-2. Johnson not going on ball 4. So the Dodgers get another break. In the 6th inning, Vasquez was wild. Walked 2, gave up a single, hit a batter, and the Dodgers eventually scored 3. Now Stottlemyre going back out there on a hit batter, forced play, and a walk. And the batter will be Andre Ethier. Then looking at past performances with Demmel, Andre Ethier 0 for 1 against him. Andre flied to center, grounded to second against Kroenke, and then singled to right against Vasquez. So the 4th Arizona pitcher, Kroenke, Vasquez, Rosa, and Demmel. Dodgers using Eli, Troncoso, and Sherrill. Theriot and Blake out there on the lines. And all of a sudden, the Dodger hitter represents the potential tying run. That's for a team that was down 7-1 through 5 innings. And that gets away from Conrad. And the runners move up to second and third. It'll be a wild pitch. So Theriot and Blake are out there now, 1 away. Yeah, the Ethier blanket. And now here he is. 1-0. And ground ball to Kelly Johnson. When in doubt, hit the ball to Kelly. Scoring is Theriot. Stopping at third is Blake. And it is now 7-5 Arizona. So Theriot scores for the second time. Ethier picking up a run batted in thanks to the wild pitch. Otherwise, that's a double play ball. And now with a runner at third, 1 out, Matt Kemp. Demmel with a runner at third. He has committed 4 wild pitches. There's that little slider. 0-1 the count. Matt Kemp hit into a force play, hit his 26th home run, and was hit by a pitch. So you had Johnson forced after being hit by a pitch. Efe a grounding out. Nice backhand save by Schmidt. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck, James Loney. So Kroenke gave up 1. Vasquez gave up 3. Demmel has given up 1. Two and 1. Matt, 26 home runs. 84 runs batted in. Fastball fouled away. So he went from slider 83 to fastball 93, and Matt a little late. Still 2-2. D-backs led 2-0, 5-0, 5-1, 7-1, 7-4, 7-5, and Matt Kemp has to get another bat. Matt's going to go down and select one that he wants. Crowd's got that Friday night spirit. And Matt coming back. Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 in, 1 on. Dodgers trail by 2. On the hands with a good fastball. Came right back at 93. So Sam Demmel out of Fort Worth and Spring, Texas. First year in the big leagues. Fastball got him. So Kemp strikes out. Dodgers lead Blake at third, but they do pick up 1. And at the end of 7, D-backs 7, Dodgers 5. Arizona. A big swing was back in the 5th inning when Adam LaRoche, who had hit into a double play and double, connected against John Eli with Stephen Drew aboard. And those 2 runs are now the difference, but it was a big night for LaRoche because he had doubled in a run in the 3rd. So the home run with a man aboard gave him 3 RBIs, and he reached the cherished level 100 runs batted in. He'll be facing Hung-Chi Kuo, who has just come in to relieve George Sherrill. Sherrill pitched the 7th inning and went right after the left-handers, struck out Drew and Johnson. Hung-Chi Kuo on Wednesday afternoon pitched the 8th inning, made 22 pitches, but got out of it no problem. And now here he is tonight. For Hung-Chi Kuo, going up against LaRoche. LaRoche is 0 for 5, striking out 4 of the 5 times against him. 0-2, that high hard one, a fastball at 95. For Hung-Chi Kuo, with an earned run average, rather unbelievable, 1.2. 17 walks, 69 strikeouts. Make it 70. So Kuo just comes in, blows him down. That's 7 strikeouts. And remember, at the very start of the game, we talked about the fact that Arizona came here with 1,495 strikeouts, and they usually average 10. Well, they have 7 so far tonight. So they have struck out 1,502 times. And talking about strikeouts, here's Mark. Right. So LaRoche has faced Kuo. He is 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. Reynolds is 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts against Kuo. Foul ball. And just like that, 0-2. Hung-Chi Kuo. He has been a marvel. He's worked 58 innings and he has given up 28 hits. 0-2. Ball 1. Well, the Giants are at it again. They narrowed it to 6-3, and in the bottom of the 6th inning, men at 2nd and 3rd with 2 out. They brought in Joe Thatcher to face Andres Torres. Torres dribbled one up along 3rd to score Uribe. 1-2. Ground ball foul. Think he cracked the bat. He did. Timeout. So that'll give us time to tell you. The dribbler scored Juan Uribe. So the Padres are now holding on to a 6-4 lead with Giants at 1st and 3rd. And Freddie Sanchez, the hitter. So they were down 6-1 to the Padres. Now it's 6-4. All right, Reynolds with a new bat. 1-2 the count. 2-2. Scoreboard's completely out of whack. 2-2 with 1 out. Scoreboard's been out of whack for quite some time. And down goes Reynolds, who's out of whack. So both LaRoche and Reynolds strike out. That means 4 of the last 5 D-backs have struck out. Sherrill nailed 2. Adam LaRoche standing with the skipper, Kirk Gibson. Cole Gillespie, a right-hand batter, is now going to come up and bat for Brandon Allen. They don't want to feed the rookie Allen to Kuo. However, Gillespie is just as much of a rookie, only a right-handed batter. Cole hitting .228. Strike. Gillespie hit a big home run to help beat the Dodgers when we were in Arizona. This is his rookie year. Foul back. He's from Portland, Oregon, and went to Oregon State. Jacoby Ellsbury went to Oregon State. Then he went in the 2005 draft. So Gillespie stepped up to drive the Beaver offense all the way to the College World Series championship. Cole is 6'1", 205, 26 years old. Diamondbacks sent Felipe Lopez to Milwaukee to get Cole. 1-2. Just missed. Oh, was that close? 2-2 the count. Two years ago in September, Gillespie had surgery. He had a broken bone in his right big toe, and he had played on it just about all year. He's that kind of a player. And a little pop fly back of first, Loney down the line. It'll drop, and Gillespie keeps on going into second base with a pop fly double. So with two out, Gillespie winds up with his little double. And the batter will be Gerardo Parra. For the D-backs, they had two doubles from the very first two hitters in the game. Later on, they had LaRoche double, and now Gillespie doubles. So they've had four doubles and a home run. And here is Parra, grounded out twice, fly to center. 7 runs, 9 hits for the D-backs. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Fouled, 0-1. Quo against Parra. And Parra has never faced him. We can tell you they're going to the top of the 7th inning. We told you Freddie Sanchez came up, and Gregerson came in to get him on a fly ball to center. So the Padres lead 6-4 going to the top of the 7th. That's a strike. 0-2. Quo struck out LaRoche, struck out Reynolds. Now trying to nail Parra. And that's fouled away. Hung-Chi Quo facing Gerardo Parra, who's from Santa Barbara, but Santa Barbara del Zulia in the Dominican Republic. 0-2. And foul back. Parra was in Venezuela when he signed with the Diamondbacks, trying to get Gillespie home. Left-hand hitters are 6 for 61 against Quo. In other words, left-hand hitters are batting less than 100. Collectively, the batting average against Quo, 0.98. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him. So it winds up. He strikes out LaRoche, Reynolds, and Parra. Strikes out the side, and it's still 7-5 D-backs. Second base for Arizona, Stephen Drew and Kelly Johnson. And we'll highlight their gloves now because, first of all, the ball hit up the middle, and there's Kelly Johnson making the play to take a hit from Russ Mitchell. And look at Stephen Drew on his knee getting a force play to save Zach Kroenke. And because of their defensive brilliance, the D-backs are still leading 7-5. James Loney will start it off against Aaron Heilman. Aaron Heilman became a daddy last Monday. His wife presented him with baby Elizabeth, 8 pounds, 6 ounces, 19 inches. So it's a big time for Aaron. Jamie Carroll, who's going to manage tomorrow night, is out on deck. One ball and no strikes. Loney grounded out, struck out, singled, 1 for 3. And that's hit in the air to left center, but Chris Young is there. So Loney a fly ball, 1 out in the 8th inning. Jamie Carroll was on deck, but they're going to call him back for Trent Olshan. So Olshan will bat in the spot originally occupied by Russ Mitchell. So the Dodgers used Barajas, and Rod had that long fly ball to left center to drive in a run. Now they bring up Trent Olshan to face Heilman. Trent's from down under, from Sydney, hitting .238 with 1 run batted in. Dodgers had the first Australian to play in the big leagues, Craig Shipley. Remember the pitcher, Luke Prokopec? Off the plate, 1-1. Aaron Heilman out of Logansport, Indiana, went to Notre Dame. Big fella, 6'5", 225. 1-1. Hung-Chi Kuo, who put on a little performance there in the 8th inning, made 20 pitches, having made 22 Wednesday in Colorado. 2-1. And that's fouled back. Straight changeup. Good pitch. Olsen just did get a little of it. Aaron Heilman from Logansport. That's about 75 miles north of Indianapolis and give or take 60 miles south of South Bend, where, of course, you know, where Notre Dame reigns. And a drive into the gap. There goes Chris Young again. Cole Gillespie that time giving him plenty of room. Chris almost collided with Brandon Allen earlier. So 2 out on fly balls to Chris Young. And A.J. Ellis coming up. When Arizona comes up in the 9th inning, Conrad Schmidt, the catcher, will lead it off. A.J. Ellis grounded to second, walked, and flied to center. Aaron Heilman, by the way, wasn't one of those fellows thrilled to go to Notre Dame. He wanted a scholarship, hoping to go either to Texas or California, a warm weather climate. But they all backed off, so he said, well, all right, I'll go to Notre Dame. Foul back. When Aaron was a freshman at Notre Dame, he would commute back to Logansport. It's a good 60-mile drive to be with his dad, Joe, who was undergoing a pretty slow recovery from triple bypass open heart surgery. He was a dedicated son. Hard worker. Aaron Heilman. Fastball got him. So Ellis caught looking. Down he goes. A 1-2-3 inning for the Dodgers in the 8th. And we're heading for the 9th. 7-5 Arizona. If you ask Brad Ausmus, what do you get out of managing in the big leagues?
I'm hungry. Need a snack. Sure, we can't order a pizza and have it delivered to the dugout. I'm starving. How about sub sandwiches? Can we get some sub sandwiches? Where's that pizza I ordered? Russ, did you order the pizza? What you put on here? Mustard?
What?
Put mustard on here?
A little mustard, a little mayonnaise. Sorry, I didn't know. That's what we go.
Spit in this? Well, this is the best tuna sandwich I've ever had in the dugout in my career.
Brad Osmus, hungry for a victory, settling for a tuna sandwich brought to him by the errand boy tonight, Clayton Kershaw. Meanwhile, ninth inning, D-backs are leading 7-5. Clayton's done an outstanding job as the delivery boy. 2-0 the count. Conrad Schmidt, the catcher. Ronald Belisario, the fifth Dodger pitcher. Schmidt singled for his first big league hit, fouled out, hit into a force play. 1 for 3. Ground ball to who? 1 away. Tony Abreu, former Dodger property, will be coming up now as a hitter for Heilman. By the way, Padres 6, Giants 4, top of the 8th inning. Luke Gregerson came in and shut down Aubrey Huff, Buster Posey, and Pat Burrell, the meat of the Giant order in the 7th inning. So it's Padres 6-4, top of the 8th. Abreu, a switch hitter, hitting .220 left, .254 right, and that shakes out to an overall .232 batting average. And he promptly bangs it into left center. His only home run was against the Dodgers, and he'll make a turn and hold with the base hit. So a one-out single by Abreu, and the batter will be Stephen Drew. So Abreu hitting for Heilman. Stephen Drew led off the game with a double to right, and then Chris Young doubled him home. Since then, Drew has struck out twice, walked, stole a base, rode home on a 2-out home run by LaRoche. Stephen made a couple of dandy defensive plays, checking out with Joel Youngblood. D-backs have struggled all year on the road. They are 30 games under 500 away from home. 30. And as we mentioned, they've lost 12 of the last 14 road games. Belisario falling behind 3-0. Then you have Chris Young. And he's walking. Belisario is 3-1, but an ERA high, a little over 5. He has walked 18 and struck out 38. So it's a hair better than 2-1. 54 innings and 52 hits allowed. So that's a lot. And now here's Young. Doubled in a run, later scored. Walked and stole a base and scored. Popped up, flied out. And a strike. And looking at Belisario pitching to Young. Young is 0 for 3 in the past. 1-1. And that's popped up, shortstop, and Chin Lung Hu is there. So they get Young with 2 out, 2 on, and the batter will be Kelly Johnson. Juan Gutierrez, the closer, he has 14 saves. Gutierrez down there warming up. In the 9th inning, he is due to face Chin Lung Hu, Reed Johnson, and Ryan Terrio. We'll see. Kelly Johnson singled to drive in a run, walked and scored a run, grounded out, struck out, and ball 1. The only D-back without a hit is Gerardo Parra, who is 0 for 4. Ball 2. Drew has 1 hit. Young has 1. Johnson 1. LaRoche has 2. Reynolds 1. Allen and now Gillespie a hit. Schmidt had a hit, but nothing for Parra. 2-0. Ground ball to Loney. He'll take it to the bag, and that's it. And we can tell you Mike Adams is on to pitch the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th up north. 6-4 San Diego. Well, we've come to the bottom of the 9th inning. Arizona leading the Dodgers 7-5. Up north in the bottom of the 8th inning, Mike Adams is pitching for San Diego. And Mike Fontenot, left-hand hitter, led off with a line drive single off the glove of Adrian Gonzalez. So at the plate is Juan Uribe. And Mike Adams working on Uribe now. And Uribe chasing a pitch in the dirt. Juan Gutierrez, he's from Puerto La Cruz in Venezuela. 6'2", 210, 27 years old. Originally signed by the Astros about 10 years ago and made it to the big leagues 3 years ago and then joined the D-backs last year. And he'll face Jin Lung Hu. Jin Lung Hu flied to left, hit into a double play and popped up. Reed Johnson on deck. 0-1. Overhand breaking ball, a good curveball. 0-2. Gutierrez throws hard. He has a 2-seamer, a 4-seamer. Then he has a curveball, slider, and a pretty good changeup. 1-2. And that's going to be a ground ball to Kelly Johnson. So Johnson has certainly been kept busy tonight. 1 away on the ground ball. And now Reed Johnson coming up. Johnson has had 6 ground balls. He's also been the middleman on a double play. He's been all over the place. Reed Johnson hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. And a strike. Johnson 0 for 1 against Gutierrez. Ryan Theriot on deck 0 for 2 against him. 0 2 to Johnson. Up north, 6-4 Padres. The Giants have Fontenot at first, nobody out, and a 2-2 count to Juan Uribe. 6-4 Padres, bottom of the 8th. Check swing, that'll do it for Reed. Dodgers' last hit was a single by Loney in the 6th inning. The only reason they've scored in the latter innings, some walks, couple of hit batters, wild pitch, but they're not doing anything with the bat. Uribe made out. Fly ball to the left fielder. So one away. Fontenot is still at first base. 6-4, favor of the Padres. And that's a strike to Theriot. So now Pablo Sandoval, the switch hitting panda, as they call him up there. He'll be facing Mike Adams. Meanwhile, we have 2 out in the 9th inning. Diamondbacks have lost 5 of 6 here at Dodger Stadium. They've lost 12 of the last 14 on the road, and they're trying to hang on and get a victory. D-backs are also trying to hang on to give the starting pitcher, Zach Kroenke, his first major league victory as a starting pitcher. Zach went 5, did very well, allowed just 1 run and 2 hits. Chad Billingsley will be on the mound for the Dodgers tomorrow night. And remember, it's calendar night. Joe Saunders, the left-hander, will be on the hill facing Chad. The calendar featuring the 2011 schedule along with the team photo presented by Hart Gallery. And then Sunday, Fan Appreciation Day. That'll be that. Sandoval, as a pinch hitter, flied to center. So Fontenot is still at first base. 2 out, bottom of the 8th, 6-4 San Diego. And ball 4. Wow, that was close. And Theriot goes to first. So with Theriot at first base, Casey Blake will be coming up. Looking at Gutierrez's work, he has saved 14, but his earned run average is over 5. He has allowed as many hits as innings pitched. That's not good. His strikeout ratio is 2-1. And a strike. One other thing about Gutierrez, he's allowed 13 home runs. Oh and 1 to Casey. Andre Ethier on deck. 0 and 2. Gutierrez trying to close it up. Casey Blake is 0 for 5 against him, having struck out 4 of the 5 at bats. And he's on the ropes now, 0 and 2. Hit foul off first. Upstairs, still 0 and 2. Cody Ross is at the plate at AT&T Park with 2 out. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Mike Fontenot is at first base, and the Padres are leading 6-4. Breaking ball, strike 3 on a check swing. So down goes Casey, down go the Dodgers. 7 runs, 10 hits for the D-backs. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Tomorrow, it'll be Chad Billingsley and Joe Saunders calendar night. And a reminder, stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.